Welcome back to math. This is our pre-unit 1 place value part 2. Now if you remember from last time, we talked about this place, and this place. Okay? So let me take those two off. What is this place called? It is that's right, the ones. Good job. Now, what's this place called? 10. Good, tens. Excellent. And last but not least, we talked about this place here. And this is called what? That's right, the hundreds place. I'm going to try to get that in there. Yeah, nice job. So let's just pretend with me for a moment. Let's say I had a 1, 2, 3. How much money would I have if this represented money? I would have
$123.
$123. You're right. That's excellent. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those guys off. Okay? And I'm just going to highlight these as ones, tens, and hundreds. Let's put this up there. Now, how much would we have for money if we were talking about a 1 in this place? Maybe I should do this. Let me do this. How much do I have now, money-wise?
10.
I have 1 10, so that means I have $10. And we normally, we normally put a 0 here to show that we have $10, because we're talking, when we talk dollars, we're actually talking ones, aren't we?
Yep.
But we don't have to have that there. If this was just there, we know we have a $10 bill. But when we put a 0 there, this kind of keeps our 1 from moving toward the decimal kind of a thing, and it doesn't fall in the wrong place, if you know what I mean. So it keeps its place. That's why this is called place value. Each place has a value. This place is value. Now let me change that one. Okay, let's say I'm going to put a, now how much do I have in my place values? Well, I have a 1 in the tens, right? So I have a $10 bill. And how many $1 bills do you think I have?
5.
I have 5. So I have $15. Now, do you notice that everything on the left side of the decimal means whole numbers? Now, whole numbers really means like dollar bills. Okay? So if I drew out, I could draw out little dollar bills, and I could draw out $10 bills for this, and I could draw $5 bills for this, or if I was a super good drawer, I could draw out a $10 bill for this one, and a 5 $1 bills for that one. Now on this side, and this is really what we want to talk about in our lesson, when we're talking about the right side of the decimal, I should tell you this, that whenever you see this decimal, it's a decimal, say it with me, decimal, that's right. That actually means and. So we could say we have $15 and then we'd be talking about what over on the right side? What would we talk about over here on the right side? Well, we would be talking about pieces. We'd be talking about pieces of dollars if we're talking money. So we'd be talking pieces of dollars. So what do you think this would be here? How many pieces do we have here? Well, you're thinking probably to yourself, Mr. McGuire, I don't know what this means. Well, let me tell you, this means we have 10 pieces. Now, if we have 10 pieces, what is in our money that is in 10 pieces? What in our money is 10 pieces? Well, we could call them dimes, right? And on this next side, this is what we call 100 pieces. And we would call these pennies, right? And pennies are, we all know what pennies are. Those are those little copper-looking things. And the dimes are the little shiny silver ones. Okay. I'm going to have what up there? 1. That's it, right?
Yeah.
So I would have $15 if this was money. And how many dimes? 1. Which would equal how many pennies? Oh, look at that. I'm going to put a 10 here. So what do you think these 100 pieces means in money?
$1.
Okay, so you think that this 0 over here in this area means $1? No. What would these be in our money? Yeah.
Pennies.
Pennies. So let's put pennies under here, okay? Now in this case, how many pennies do I have if I have a dime?
0.
I don't have any pennies, but I have 1 dime, right? Are you okay? Does that kind of make sense to you? I hope so. Let me erase that. Let's say I had 2 dimes. Where would I put the 2?
Oh.
Would I put it on the first place to the right or the second place on the right?
The first place.
The first place. So I would put a 2 here, right? Do I have to put a 0 here?
No.
No, I don't. Why not? Because I'm not talking about what?
The pennies.
Pennies. I'm talking about
Dimes.
dimes. So I've got 2 dimes. And 2 dimes means how many pennies?
20.
Oh, yes. So that's why we're going to put the 0 there. If we say, okay, my 2 dimes are worth how many pennies? You would say 20 pennies. And that's why I would put the 0 there. Does that help you understand why a 0 would go there?
Yes.
Okay. Don't try to sound so excited, you people. Okay. I want to see if you can get this one. I'm going to have 6 dimes and 7 pennies. 6 dimes and 7 pennies. Okay? So let me erase my 15 because I'm going to get rid of that. Because all I have in my pocket is what? 6 dimes and 7 pennies. How would I write that? Just say it out loud.
6.
Under where? Would I put the 6 here?
No.
No, why not?
Because that's pennies.
That's pennies. So I would have to put it under the dimes. So I have 6 dimes, right?
Yes.
And now what do I do?
Put the 7 in pennies.
Put the 7 in the pennies. So this tells me I have how many cents?
67.
I have 67 cents. And what do I do to show that I don't have any whole money over here? What should I do?
Put 0.
I should put at least 1 0 right here to show I have no whole dollars. All I have is 6 what?
67 cents.
67 cents, or in money I have 6 what? 6 dimes. And how many pennies?
7.
7 pennies. Nice. So I have 67 cents. So anytime we're talking about the first place on the right, we're talking about what? Dimes. And on the second place, we're talking about pennies. And anytime we have a number on the right side of the decimal, it always means it's been cut up into 10 pieces. And on the second place, it's always been cut up into 100 pieces. Does that help you understand what those 2 places behind the decimal mean?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm hoping that this would help. Let me give you one last thing. Now this one is going to be a little bit different. What I'm going to do, I think I'm going to draw a pizza. And I'm going to color it. I'm going to color it kind of brown because let's just pretend it's a pizza. If you'd like to think of it as a cookie, that's okay too. Okay? Now, if I drew this one, this circle, how many things would I have to cut that circle up into? How many pieces would I have to cut this circle or this pizza up into? Yes. So if I open the box, this would have to be cut up into 10 pieces, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? There's 5 pieces there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 10 pieces, right?
Yes.
But guess what? One of my kids from class, they came over and they ate everything except for the shaded in area. How much pizza do I have left?
3 pieces.
Those crazy kids. I have how many pizzas? I got 1 whole, right? And how many pieces?
3.
I only have 3 out of how many pieces? 3 out of 10, right? 3 out of 10 pieces. Because it's 3 out of, remember, this is always about 10 pieces, right? 3 out of 10. Some people might say, hey, that looks like 3/10. It is. It is 3/10. And those crazy kids, how many pieces did they eat? How many pieces did they eat?
7.
They ate 7 pieces. I know which one of you ate 7 pieces of my pizza. I just know it. Okay, so does this help? Does that kind of help you understand dollars? And maybe it might help you understand pizzas, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I was to draw a pizza over here, how many pieces would I have to cut that into?
100.
100? Those would be so small, I'm not even sure I could get it on my fork. Do you?
No.
So that's why I'm not going to draw a pizza in the 100 pieces part, because those would be super small pieces, wouldn't they? Okay, so I hope this helps. Go ahead and go over it again and draw out several problems until this starts to make sense to you. Draw them in pizzas, draw them with money, and literally draw the money on there too, okay? Or draw berries if you want, like little blueberries. Or you could draw apples or oranges. Draw something and figure those out, okay? Can you do that?
Yes.
All right. Well, you know what I always say? I love math.